Hey everyone, here's an animated summary of Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. The book is organized into 4 key sections, or pillars, each packed with valuable lessons on business and life. These pillars cover a range of powerful concepts designed to help you grow and succeed. If any of these ideas resonate with you, consider picking up the book to explore them in greater depth. Pillar 1: The Self. 1. In order to be successful, you need to fill 5 buckets in order. If you look at the most successful people, they fill these 5. What you know, what you can do, who you know, what you have, and what people think of you. We usually start our professional life acquiring knowledge. Once this is applied, this is a skill. When you have knowledge and skills, you become professionally valuable to others, and your network grows. Both your knowledge and skills will help you gather resources and build a reputation. Investment in the first bucket is the highest yield investment you can make. Trying to build a reputation and gather resources like money without knowledge and skills will fail. Knowledge and skills are the only buckets that can never be emptied. 2. Teaching an idea publicly helps deepen understanding because it requires clarifying concepts, anticipating questions, and engaging multiple cognitive processes. Teachers often learn the most because they revisit material repeatedly, solve real-time problems, and reflect on their knowledge, leading to mastery. 3. A carefully reasoned argument, no matter how strong or evidence-based, is often dismissed if it begins with disagreement. Starting with common ground, however, increases the likelihood that your argument will be understood and accepted. 4. The idea that you do not get to choose what you believe suggests that beliefs are not consciously selected, but are shaped by evidence, experiences, upbringing, and reasoning. While we can influence our beliefs over time by exposing ourselves to new information and perspectives, the immediate formation of a belief is often an automatic response to what feels true based on our understanding of the world. 5. Cognitive dissonance is when people are so arrogantly sure that they are right they refuse to listen, learn, and pay attention to new information. Cognitive dissonance is when your thoughts conflict with your behavior. For example, smoking conflicts with the evidence that smoking is incredibly harmful. To justify this tension, the smoker must either give up or find a way to justify their behavior, such as saying, "I only smoke occasionally. And why shouldn't I be free to behave as I choose?" Cognitive dissonance can make leaders reluctant to pick up a new technology or stop a project that is failing to avoid the discomfort of failing or challenging their current beliefs. However, in business, the markets are constantly changing. You must take risks and question your original ideology in order for your business to continue to evolve and solve problems. 6. Psychologists have found that asking questions is more effective at influencing people than telling them what to do. For example, asking "will you recycle" is more effective than telling someone to recycle, as this gives them a sense of choice, as well as making them question their own self-perception of being responsible and environmentally conscious. 7. A study of cadets in the U.S. military conducted by Angela Duckworth found that it wasn't the cadets with the most leadership potential, intelligence, and physical strength that would be the most successful in their program. It was mental toughness matched with determination to meet a long-term goal that gave the most accurate indication of whether a cadet would make it through. Self-story is a term encompassing all our thoughts and feelings about ourselves, including our beliefs about our capabilities. Individuals with a positive self-story will be more likely to persevere longer in the face of adversity. We form our self-story by evidence of our choices, so we need to change our actions to change our self-story. 8. Focusing too much on stopping a bad habit only makes us do it more. Things to try instead include replacing the bad habit with a much less addictive reward, getting better sleep so that we don't get overstressed, so we don't need the bad habit, and focusing on fixing one bad habit at a time. 9. You only get one mind and one body for your lifetime, and health should be your top priority, as everything is contingent on health: your mood, your relationships, your work, and even your life. Pillar 2. The story. 10. Useless absurdities will make your marketing or brand travel much further. For example, Tesla has gained significant attention by naming its cars names such as Insane Ludicrouses and Ludicrous Plus. Some of Tesla's models include absurdities such as Arcade Mode and Bioweapon Defense Mode. Although these sound immature and stupid, they are memorable to customers and capture attention, leading to more sales. 11. Wallpaper is the overuse of popular terms, phrases, and calls to action, to the point that the brain habituates and tunes them out. For example, YouTubers telling viewers to like and subscribe has virtually no impact on how many people will like and subscribe. Try to avoid using common phrases and be more creative about how you communicate with customers in order for them to pay attention and stay engaged. 12. Indifference when people neither love or hate you is the least profitable outcome for a marketer. Love drives loyalty and advocacy, while hate, though negative, sparks attention and discussion. Indifference, however, leads to disengagement and irrelevance, leaving no impact. To succeed, marketers must create strong emotional connections, even if it means polarizing opinions, as this generates passion and attention, the keys to influence and profitability. 13. Making small, superficial changes to a product or service can create huge perceived value in your customer's mind. For instance, telling customers how long until their taxi will arrive to reduce uncertainty, or being extra kind to them at the end of the journey costs little to the business but makes a big difference to the customer experience. 14. When a product requires some effort to consume or enjoy, it can sometimes create the feeling that it's more valuable. For example, an energy drink that is made to taste bad appears to be healthier to the customer. Friction in product design, whether through taste, texture, or experience, can create value by appealing to a customer's deeper desires for authenticity, health, exclusivity, and self-discipline. 15. How a product is framed affects how customers perceive and value the brand. How the product is manufactured, packaged, or named will make it more or less appealing to the customer. 16. The customer's perceived value of a product or service is based on context. Offering a range of options such as economy, standard, and premium versions of your product will affect the customer's perception of your standard offering. 17. The endowment effect is a cognitive bias that causes people to overvalue an item simply because they own it, making people more attached to items they believe they own than similar objects they do not possess. Giving your customers ownership experience of products sold by your company by giving out free samples or making the store as interactive as possible will drastically increase the chances they will purchase the product. 18. Make the first 5 seconds of any kind of advertisement or video as engaging and interesting as possible, as customers will make immediate judgments about your company in that time. Pillar 3. The philosophy. 19. As a company, you should focus on improving all the tiny details in the business. Although they seem insignificant, these details add up to create enormous value. Good work is the culmination of hundreds of tiny details. 20. Backing up the last point, small mistakes, oversights, or deviations from goals may seem insignificant in the short term, but can lead to significant consequences in the long run if left unaddressed. A small deviation early in a process can compound over time, much like a slight shift in the trajectory of an arrow, results in a significant miss of the target as the distance increases. For example, skipping one day of exercise may seem minor, but repeated over weeks or months, it could result in a loss of fitness or weight gain. 21. Surprisingly, increasing our failure rate makes the business more likely to succeed, as failures can teach us more and more what is needed to make the business grow and tell you what customers want. Failure and invention are inseparable twins. 22. The amount of ourselves we can dedicate to an outcome mind, energy, focus, is positively correlated with the likelihood of that outcome. In the pursuit of your most important goals, a backup plan is an additional weight to carry, a motivational burden to bring and distracting companion to call. 23. When an ostrich sees a danger, it buries its head in the sand. The idea is that if the ostrich can just hide from the threat, it will eventually pass. As humans, we are similar to this and are hardwired to avoid discomfort. However, avoiding uncomfortable realities and difficult conversations is unhelpful, both in business and in our personal relationships. We must assess what isn't right, assess what we can do about it, share our findings, and get to the truth, however challenging that may be. 24. Pressure doesn't have to be a negative thing. Stress can help us to push ourselves to perform at our best, both mentally and physically, by enhancing our alertness and giving us a boost of energy. 25. Ask yourself, why will this idea fail, before launching a business idea in order to address the risks such as not enough resources, market doesn't desire the product, or too much competition. Have a humble confrontation with the prospect of failure before starting out to increase the likelihood of success. 26. Your skills can become much more or less valuable depending on the context you're in. Different industries pay workers with the same skill different amounts due to industry-specific profitability, the value placed on the skill, market demand, and working conditions. 27. Discipline equals the value of the goal plus the reward of the pursuits minus the cost of the pursuit. When the combined value of the goal and the reward of pursuing it outweigh the perceived costs, discipline becomes easier to sustain. This equation highlights the importance of aligning goals with personal values and minimizing unnecessary obstacles. Pillar 4. The team. 28. When we need something done, we've been trained to ask ourselves, how can I do this? This question can create bottlenecks if the person lacks expertise or is spread too thin. The better question, which the world's greatest founders default to asking, is who is the best person that can do this for me? 29. Companies that become great start out feeling like cults in the sense that the people are clear on their values, devoted to the cause and obsessed with solving a problem. A cult-like mentality and cult-like commitment from staff can be very useful in the beginning stages of a startup, as it creates the culture and generates the passion required to launch a new business. But as a company grows, it needs to develop in order to achieve longer-term objectives. Cults are not sustainable. 30. Think about any team you're in, for example, a sports team or a team at work. If you were to choose a person at random and imagined if everyone in the team embodied their cultural values, would the bar be raised, maintained, or lowered? A person who is a bar lowerer should be fired, and a bar raiser should be promoted. A person with negative behavior in the business will have a disproportionately toxic influence on team culture and should be removed. 31. Small wins matter a lot in business because they are a lot more likely to occur than big breakthroughs. Breaking a task into easy, achievable micro-goals makes goals feel more achievable, boosting employee motivation. Employees are most motivated when they are engaged with the work they are doing and feel like they are making a difference. 32. Different types of people require different types of leaders to provide them direction. Being able to adapt to each individual and be able to shift your emotions in order to elicit the best from every member positively correlates with your ability to motivate. In conclusion, the Diary of a CEO offers powerful insights into the realities of leadership, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. It reminds us that success isn't just about strategies or bottom lines, but also about self-awareness, resilience, and human connection. This book isn't just a guide for aspiring leaders, it's a call to reflect on what truly matters and to build a legacy rooted in authenticity and impact.